Dear brother of the journey, in this sacred moment where time seems suspended between two realities, I receive through the etheric channels a message of extraordinary beauty and depth. The words arrive like gentle waves of crystalline light, laden with the pure essence of universal love that permeates all dimensions of existence. Through the connection established with the beings of light who inhabit the higher planes, I am guided to share with you truths that have long awaited the opportune moment to be revealed. Like celestial flowers that bloom under the first rays of spiritual dawn, these revelations arrive to nourish the souls thirsty for understanding about the mysteries unfolding on our beloved Earth. In this eternal moment, where past and future meet in the sacred present, your consciousness is gently invited to expand beyond the limits of the known, to dive into the crystalline waters of cosmic wisdom. Like a divine garden that awakens under the caresses of celestial light, your inner being prepares to receive the luminous seeds that the ascended masters wish to plant in the receptive soil of your soul. The message flows through the pure channels of the eighth dimension, where the elders of Arcturus reside, radiant light entities who have been lovingly monitoring the evolution of consciousness in multiple solar systems for thousands of years. Through the energetic bridge established by the magnetic currents that connect Arcturus to Earth, these words reach you like drops of divine dew, imbued with the purest essence of universal understanding. The Arcturian Masters, known in the eternal records as the cultivators of light, are cosmic architects specialized in assisting civilizations transitioning from dense states of matter to more ethereal dimensions of existence. They have observed and supported countless worlds in their processes of conscious elevation, always honoring the free will of evolving species, offering assistance only when requested by souls genuinely seeking divine truth. In this singular period of Earth's history, when our Mother Earth and her children are crossing the dimensional portal known in celestial circles as the Great Metamorphosis, the Arcturian Masters received special authorization from the higher cosmic councils to establish more direct communication channels with the awakened consciousnesses that inhabit this planet. This message represents one of those sacred connections, a luminous thread woven between dimensions to transmit clarity where mists of confusion still linger, and guidance where labyrinths of uncertainty continue to exist. Dear soul, on an earthly pilgrimage, understand that in this historic moment, you are not simply living an ordinary existence in an ordinary world. You are a spark of consciousness participating in the grandest orchestra of transformation that this sector of the cosmos has ever witnessed. Like a cosmic dancer moving at the intersection of multiple realities, your current existence pulsates at the center of a planetary metamorphosis that will echo through the galaxies for countless ages. The Earth, this blue emerald jewel suspended in the black velvet of infinity, is crossing an evolutionary portal that will lead it from a three-dimensional matrix of experience to a five-dimensional reality, where consciousness and matter dance in perfect harmony. This process, known by the Masters as dimensional elevation, does not occur through cataclysms or abrupt ruptures, but as a gradual and organic blossoming, similar to how a rose opens to the first caresses of dawn. You, beloved being, chose to be present in this cosmic theater not as a passive observer, but as an active protagonist of this transformation. Your soul, before incarnating into this physical body that you now inhabit, signed sacred agreements in the higher planes, committing to serve as a luminous beacon during times of transition. Like a star that agrees to shine more intensely during the darkest nights, you came to anchor in earthly reality the high frequencies necessary to facilitate this planetary metamorphosis. From the depths of the galactic core continuously emanate currents of energy known as luminous beams of divine consciousness. These radiant waves carry encoded information that acts as evolutionary catalysts, gradually awakening the dormant potentials. in the spiritual code of all receptive life forms. Like showers of light that nourish stellar gardens, these luminous beams are currently bathing the Earth with an intensity never before experienced in the planet's known history. Each light beam functions as a multidimensional key that opens specific portals of perception and conscious empowerment. When these radiant frequencies touch a human heart, prepared by love and purified by spiritual sincerity, automatic activations occur in the higher energy centers, allowing the person to access expanded states of consciousness and manifest abilities that previously seemed to belong only to the realm of miracles. The first luminous beam carries the frequency of universal unity, gradually dissolving the illusions of separation that have kept humanity fragmented into conflicting groups. When this beam touches a consciousness, the person begins to perceive beyond the superficial differences of race, culture, religion, or nationality, recognizing in every other human being a reflection of the same divine light that shines in their own heart. The second beam of light pulsates with the energy of unlimited compassion, softening hearts hardened by suffering and opening channels of empathy that allow one to feel the deep interconnection between all living beings. This luminous frequency gradually transforms fear into love, judgment into understanding, and indifference into genuine care for the well-being of all life. The third light beam vibrates with the wisdom of conscious creation, awakening in receptive souls the memory that they are co-creators of reality along with the universal source. This revelation brings with it both power and responsibility, for upon recognizing their co-creative nature, each person becomes consciously responsible for contributing to the manifestation of greater beauty, harmony, and love in the world. At the center of this planetary transformation, a profound metamorphosis is taking place in the most sacred organ of the human being, the heart. Not just the physical heart that pumps vital blood through the veins, but mainly the spiritual heart, that luminous center that ancient mystics knew as the throne of the soul, the temple where the divine spark establishes its earthly residence. This spiritual heart is undergoing an unprecedented expansion, like a flower with infinite petals that opens simultaneously in all directions. Each petal represents a facet of human loving capacity. And as these petals unfold under the influence of the luminous beams, people begin to experience forms of love that are purer, more inclusive, more transformative than they ever imagined possible. Romantic love, which was once limited to a single person, expands to become universal love. Parental love, which used to focus only on one's own children, expands to embrace all the children of the earth as spiritual children. Love for one's homeland transcends geographical boundaries to transform into love for the entire planet. Love for a specific religious tradition matures into reverence for all authentic expressions of human spiritual seeking. This expansion of the heart does not happen suddenly or violently, but as an organic and natural process, as gentle as the growth of a tree or the ripening of a fruit. Some people may experience moments of emotional intensity during this metamorphosis, as old patterns of limited love need to dissolve to make room for the new capacities that are awakening. These transition phases, although sometimes challenging, are positive signs that the inner alchemy is operating successfully. Parallel to the metamorphosis of the heart, there is a progressive activation of the higher energy centers, also known as transpersonal vortices. These luminous centers of subtle energy, which have remained dormant in most human beings during the long cycles of conscious density, are now being gradually awakened by the catalytic influence of the luminous beams. The eighth energy center, located approximately 30 centimeters above the head, functions as a cosmic antenna that allows the conscious reception of information from higher dimensions. When this center activates, the person begins to experience episodes of expanded perception, profound insights that come like flashes of wisdom, and a clearer connection with their spiritual guides and inner masters. The ninth energy center, located even higher in the auric field, serves as a portal to the collective divine consciousness of humanity. Its activation allows the individual to become aware of participating in a transformation that transcends their personal experience, connecting them to the morphogenetic field of the evolving human species. The 10th, 11th, and 12th centers create energetic bridges between individual consciousness and the higher cosmic planes, allowing for experiences of mystical union with the universal source. When these centers awaken, the person can experience states of spontaneous spiritual ecstasy, sensations of ego dissolution in the infinite waters of divine love, and direct perceptions of the fundamental unity that underlies all apparent diversity. One of the most evident manifestations of the ongoing conscious metamorphosis is the profound transformation that is occurring in relationships between human beings. The old patterns based on competition, domination, manipulation, and mutual use are gradually giving way to higher forms of interaction grounded in the recognition of the intrinsic sacredness of each person. In romantic relationships, possessive love is being transmuted into liberating love, which celebrates the growth and evolution of the partner, even when it means changes in the relationship dynamics. Couples are learning to love each other not just as temporary personalities, but as eternal souls who have chosen to walk together for a period to mutually assist in their spiritual development. In families, rigid hierarchies based solely on age or traditional authority are transforming into sacred circles where each member is recognized as a bearer of unique gifts and valuable perspectives. Parents and children are discovering that they can learn from each other, that wisdom can flow in all directions, and that unconditional love is possible even amidst differences of opinion and life choices. In the professional sphere, the paradigm of unbridled competition is gradually being replaced by a more mature understanding that true collaboration creates abundance for everyone involved. Visionary leaders are emerging in all areas of human activity, people who can inspire teams through the example of integrity and genuine commitment to collective well-being. Another fundamental aspect of the current transformation is the reawakening of the sacred connection between humanity and our Mother Earth, the planetary consciousness that animates and permeates all manifestations of life in this world. During Soito, the centuries of accelerated industrialization and massive urbanization, many human beings lost the perception that they inhabit a living, conscious, and sensitive organism, treating the planet as a mere repository of resources to be exploited. The light beams are dissolving this spiritual amnesia, awakening in receptive souls the memory that they are children of the earth as much as children of the stars. This reconnection does not happen only on an intellectual level through information about ecology, but as a visceral experience of belonging, a return to expanded tribal consciousness that recognizes all elements of nature as sacred relatives. People around the world are reporting mystical experiences with trees, which are beginning to be perceived not as inanimate objects, but as wise and ancient beings that carry deep memories of planetary evolution. Rivers and oceans reveal their fluid personalities to those who approach with an open heart and a silent mind. Mountains share their stabilizing forces with pilgrims who climb their slopes in search of spiritual vision. Animals, always sensitive to subtle energetic shifts, are responding to this elevation of human consciousness with behaviors that demonstrate greater trust and willingness for interspecific cooperation. Reports are coming from all continents about extraordinary encounters between humans and wild animals, interactions permeated with mutual respect and spontaneous telepathic communication. One of the most profound works being facilitated by the light beams is the healing of ancestral traumas that have been transmitted through family lineages for countless generations. These collective wounds, originating from wars, persecutions, slavery, genocides, and other forms of violence perpetuated throughout human history, have created dense energetic patterns that limited the evolutionary potential of societies. The divine light that now pours over the earth possesses the alchemical capacity to transmute these ancestral densities, allowing patterns of suffering to be transformed into wisdom, memories of oppression to be converted into expanded compassion, and cycles of revenge to be transmuted into waves of liberating forgiveness. This healing does not happen only at the individual level, but manifests as collective phenomena of reconciliation between historically antagonistic peoples. Former enemies are finding ways to honor their differences while working together for common goals. Groups that carried millennial resentments are discovering that mutual forgiveness releases creative energies that benefit all of humanity. The work of ancestral healing is also allowing talents and skills that were suppressed during periods of religious or cultural persecution to resurface in current generations. People are rediscovering natural healing abilities, extraordinary artistic gifts, refined intuitive skills, and other potentials that their lineages have preserved in a latent state, awaiting safer times for their manifestation. As individual consciousnesses transform under the influence of the luminous beams, new civilizational paradigms are naturally emerging to sustain and express these inner changes. In all spheres of human activity, education, health, economy, governance, art, science, spirituality, visionary pioneers are creating innovative models based on the principles of cooperation, sustainability, inclusion, and reverence for life. In the educational field, schools are emerging that honor the multiple intelligences of students, recognizing that each child brings unique gifts that need to be nurtured and developed. The old model of standardized education, which tried to force all young minds into identical molds, is giving way to personalized approaches that celebrate the diversity of talents and learning styles. In the field of health, integrative medicine is flourishing as a harmonious synthesis between the technological advances of modern science and the age-old wisdom of holistic healing traditions. Doctors and therapists are rediscovering that the human being is much more than a collection of organs and physical systems, recognizing the emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions as equally important aspects of the holistic healing process. Economic systems are gradually evolving from models based on scarcity and competition to structures grounded in abundance and collaboration. Circular economy initiatives, community currencies, service exchange systems, and social purpose companies are demonstrating that it is possible to create material prosperity without destroying the environment or exploiting vulnerable groups. One of the most fascinating characteristics of this transition period is the acceleration in the revelation of knowledge that has been kept secret for millennia by initiatory schools and esoteric traditions. Information about the multidimensional nature of reality, the universal laws that govern manifestation, the methods of developing latent psychic abilities, and other aspects of perennial wisdom are becoming accessible to increasingly wider circles of humanity. This democratization of sacred knowledge does not happen by chance, but in response to the collective maturation of human consciousness. The guardians of the mysteries recognize that humanity has reached a point of development where it can receive and constructively apply information that previously might have been used destructively by less mature consciousnesses. Ancient symbols and sacred texts are revealing new levels of meaning to those who approach them with reverence and discernment. Meditative practices that were taught only to carefully selected disciples are becoming available through books, courses, and transmissions over the World Wide Web. Energy healing techniques that have been preserved in secret lineages for centuries are now being openly taught to all who demonstrate sincerity in their intention to serve the common good. One of the most extraordinary revelations of this transition period is the gradual preparation of humanity for the open recognition that Earth is part of a much broader galactic community inhabited by countless civilizations at different stages of evolution. What until recently was considered science fiction or fantasy is revealing itself as cosmic reality, awaiting the appropriate moment to be integrated into planetary consciousness. Advanced stellar civilizations, which have been discreetly monitoring Earth's development for millennia, are preparing contact protocols that respect humanity's free will and natural evolutionary pace. These beings of light do not come as conquerors or saviors, but as elder siblings on the cosmic journey, willing to share knowledge and technologies that can assist in the transition to a truly sustainable and harmonious planetary civilization. The contact will not happen as a sudden invasion that generates panic or chaos, but as a gradual process of acclimatization that will allow the human collective consciousness to organically integrate the perception of belonging to a much larger galactic family. People around the world are already experiencing subtle forms of communication with non-terrestrial intelligences through lucid dreams, deep meditation experiences, and encounters during astral projections. To integrate these revelations into your daily experience and become an increasingly clear channel for the light beams, dear soul, simple yet profoundly transformative practices are offered that can be easily incorporated into your daily routine. The luminous awakening should be practiced every morning, even before you get out of bed, dedicating a few minutes to establish your spiritual intention for the day. Visualize luminous beams of divine light descending from the heart of the galaxy and gently penetrating through the top of your head, filling your entire being with loving luminosity. Breathe deeply 3 times, and with each exhalation, send gratitude to the universe for another day of opportunities to serve planetary evolution. The expanded heart meditation should be practiced daily, setting aside at least 15 minutes for this transformative practice. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and direct your attention to the heart region. Imagine a luminous rose slowly blooming in this energy center, its radiant petals expanding beyond the limits of the physical body. With each breath, allow this rose to grow until it encompasses your entire house, your neighborhood, your city, your country, and finally, the entire planet. Feel lovingly connected with all living beings through this expanded rose of light. The starlight bath should be practiced every night, preferably under the starry sky or near an open window. Visualize yourself receiving a gentle bath of silvery light that descends from the stars, delicately removing all the tensions, worries, and dense energies accumulated during the day. As this starlight flows through your entire being, mentally repeat, "I am a pure channel of cosmic light, radiating love and peace to all life." Communication with Mother Earth should be practiced weekly, dedicating time to establish a conscious connection with planetary consciousness. This can be done by walking barefoot on the earth, hugging a tree, sitting near a natural body of water, or simply placing your hands on the ground while sending gratitude and love to our Mother Earth. During these moments of communion, remain receptive to perceiving the subtle responses she may send through sensations, intuitions, or synchronicities. The sacred mirror practice should be applied in every interaction with another person, practicing seeing beyond the superficial personality to recognize the divine light that resides in the other's heart. Even when confronted with challenging or irritating behaviors, take a deep breath and remember that you are facing a soul on a journey just like you. This expanded perspective naturally generates more patience, understanding, and compassion in all relationships. The family healing circle should be practiced monthly if possible, gathering family members or close friends for a moment of sacred sharing. Create a circle where each person can express gratitude for others, share personal challenges without judgment, and offer mutual emotional and spiritual support. These healing circles strengthen the bonds of love and create fields of harmonious energy that benefit all participants. Liberating forgiveness should be practiced when conflicts or resentments arise, applying the spiritual alchemy of conscious forgiveness. It's not about accepting inappropriate behaviors or pretending that hurts don't exist, but about releasing the emotional poison that corrodes your own inner peace. Visualize the situation or person involved being bathed in transmuting violet light, and mentally declare, "I release this situation to the light," trusting that divine wisdom will transform all density into an opportunity for growth. The light. Sender should be practiced daily, dedicating a few minutes to intentionally send healing energy to regions of the planet that are facing challenges. During your meditations, visualize luminous light enveloping areas affected by conflicts, natural disasters, poverty, or any form of collective suffering. This practice not only energetically contributes to planetary healing, but also expands your capacity for universal compassion. The guardian of nature implies adopting life practices that honor and protect the environment, recognizing that each conscious choice contributes to the well-being of Mother Earth. This may include reducing unnecessary consumption, preferring sustainable products, saving water and energy, planting trees, tending gardens, or supporting organizations dedicated to environmental conservation. The sour of consciousness involves discreetly sharing, through your example and loving words, the spiritual insights you are integrating. It is not necessary to proselytize or try to convince others of your beliefs, but simply to live authentically the principles that resonate with your soul. Your peaceful and loving presence will in itself be an invitation for others to question whether there are higher ways to live and relate. The cultivation of intuition requires practicing trusting the subtle whispers of your inner voice, starting with small everyday decisions. When you need to choose between alternatives, pause for a moment, take a deep breath, and feel which option resonates most harmoniously in your heart. Over time, this practice will strengthen your ability to perceive spiritual guidance in more complex situations. Communication with guides should include regular moments of inner stillness to mentally dialogue with your spiritual guides and inner masters. Ask sincere questions about your path of growth. Seek guidance for specific challenges, or simply express gratitude for the protection and guidance you receive. Remain receptive to perceiving the answers through sudden insights, meaningful synchronicities, or intuitive sensations. Dream journaling involves keeping a diary near your bed and immediately recording the images, symbols, and messages received. During sleep upon waking, dreams are natural portals through which your higher consciousness communicates guidance, heals past traumas, and prepares you for future developments. Over time, significant patterns will emerge from these dream records. The vision of the new Earth should be practiced regularly during your meditations, dedicating time to visualize in vivid detail what a world based on the principles of love, cooperation, and harmony with nature would be like. See sustainable cities, harmonious relationships among all peoples, technologies that serve life, education that develops the unique potentials of each person. This practice of creative visualization energetically contributes to the manifestation of this new reality. Talent development involves identifying and cultivating the unique gifts that your soul brought to contribute to planetary transformation. These can be artistic talents, healing abilities, leadership capacities, communication gifts, or any form of service that awakens genuine passion in your heart. Dedicate time and energy to developing these abilities, trusting that they will be channels through which you can serve the common good. Inner preparation requires cultivating qualities such as patience, flexibility, discernment, and trust in divine wisdom, as these will be especially valuable during the periods of accelerated change that characterize these times of transition. Practice staying centered in your inner peace even when external circumstances seem chaotic or uncertain. Dear luminous soul, these words have reached you not by chance, but as an answer to the silent calls of your heart, seeking to understand its role in this extraordinary moment of planetary evolution. You are much more than you imagine. A divine spark temporarily clothed in human form. a conscious agent of cosmic transformation, a spiritual gardener cultivating seeds of light in the fertile soil of the rising earth. Trust in the wisdom that already resides within you. Allow yourself to be guided by the unconditional love that is your truest nature, and know that every step you take toward the light contributes immensely to the healing and elevation of all humanity. The stars sing songs of joy each time a soul awakens to its divine magnificence. And you, dear being of light, are one of the most beautiful melodies in this cosmic symphony of transformation. May the luminous beams of divine consciousness continue to illuminate your path. May the love of the ascended masters warm your heart, and may the grace of the universal source bless every moment of your sacred journey on this beloved earth. With infinite love from the higher dimensions of existence through the channeling of this humble soul in service of the light.